Welcome to a new episode of the Body Mind Soul mini-series. Today I'm talking about one of the most normalized and socially accepted addictions in the world, alcohol. A substance capable of destroying bodies, families, relationships, and life plans, yet often presented as fun, social success, maturity, or a normal way of relating to others. Many people would never allow a child to see certain illegal drugs being used. However, millions of children grow up seeing everyday scenes of normalized alcohol intoxication, parties, family gatherings, social media, sporting events, or even adults who teach that, to have fun, you have to drink. And so begins the silent transmission of this model. The problem isn't alcohol. It's the culture that trivializes the suffering it causes. Humanization. Behind problematic consumption lie profound human stories. There are people who drink to quell anxiety, numb emotional pain, endure loneliness, lessen insecurity, escape emptiness, tolerate extreme stress, feel accepted, or forget traumas or suffering. Many started just socially. But addiction rarely announces clearly when it will end. And while society laughs and celebrates certain behaviors, many families experience violence, accidents, emotional abandonment, liver and pancreatic diseases, mental deterioration, emotional breakdowns, depression, isolation, premature death. That's why Pharaoh insists, never romanticize addiction. Biomedical explanation. Biomedical medicine recognizes that alcohol acts on the central nervous system and can produce physical and psychological dependence. Prolonged consumption affects the brain, liver, heart, digestive system, sleep, memory, and emotional regulation. It also increases the risk of accidents, violence, suicide, psychiatric disorders, cognitive decline, and cardiovascular disease. Alcohol is not innocent just because it's legal. Pharaoh analysis. Emptiness, shadow, and escape. For Carl Jung, many addictions express a profound disconnection from the self. Alcohol can function as an attempt to escape the shadow, pain, insecurity, frustration, existential emptiness, or unprocessed psychic suffering. The person artificially seeks disinhibition, relief, belonging, and a sense of freedom. But what is not consciously integrated returns repeatedly. The bottle often attempts to fill a much deeper spiritual and emotional void. Wilber. Acol and level of consciousness. From Ken Wilber's holistic perspective, alcohol dependence must be understood on multiple levels simultaneously. Biological level, neurochemistry, tolerance, withdrawal, organ damage. Psychological level, trauma, anxiety, poor emotional regulation, compulsion. Social level, peer pressure, cultural models, advertising, normalization. Existential level, emptiness, loss of meaning, inner disconnection. Wilber also points out that a society can evolve technologically while remaining emotionally immature. And many cultures still teach that intoxication is equivalent to living. Hamer. Biological conflict and suffering. According to Geert-Hamer's approach, many addictions may stem from intense conflicts of loss, fear, abandonment, frustration, or existential suffering. The substance appears as a biological and psychological attempt to alleviate internal tension. From Pharaoh's perspective, this doesn't mean justifying consumption or reducing everything to emotional conflicts. It means recognizing that many people consume because they are suffering deeply. And a society that only punishes symptoms without understanding the underlying suffering often fails in prevention. Traditional Chinese medicine, TCM. From TCM's perspective, excessive alcohol consumption profoundly alters the energy balance. It can especially affect the liver, heart, spleen, and shun, mind and spirit. Over time, this can lead to irritability, impulsiveness, exhaustion, brain fog, emotional disturbances, and a decline in overall well-being. TCM understands that excess disrupts harmony and consumes essential energy. Taoist philosophy. Taoism teaches that true freedom arises from awareness, not intoxication. When a person needs substances to feel alive, relaxed, or capable of connecting, something deep within has lost its balance. The Tao invites us to recover presence, simplicity, and inner connection. Constant escapism never replaces working on oneself. Promotion and prevention. Pharaoh considers early prevention fundamental. Children and adolescents learn by observing. If we normalize excess, lack of control, intoxication, alcohol-related violence, and the idea that drinking is obligatory entertainment, then we unwittingly transmit dangerous models. Prevention doesn't mean empty moralizing. It means education, awareness, and collective responsibility. Young people need adults who teach them emotional regulation, a sense of well-being, self-esteem, critical thinking, self-care, and inner freedom. It's not just about responsible consumption, because often the problem begins long before the first drink. It begins in emptiness, suffering, and human disconnection. Pharaoh therapy. Role of Pharaoh physicians and nurses. Early detection. Risk assessment. Withdrawal management. Clinical support. Health education. Harm reduction. Compassionate listening. Family and community work. Pharaoh nursing accompanies people, not addicts. Role of the Pharaoh coach or facilitator. The Pharaoh coach does not replace medical or psychiatric treatment. Their role is to accompany existential exploration, emotional regulation, identity reconstruction, managing emptiness, strengthening life purpose, developing healthy habits, developing body awareness, reviewing relationships and a healthy sense of belonging. The goal is not to blame, but to help rebuild awareness and dignity. Pharaoh learning. A society that intoxicates itself to cope with itself needs to awaken its consciousness. True freedom does not consist of being able to consume anything. It consists of not needing to destroy oneself to feel alive. Pharaoh quote, "When a culture turns escapism into entertainment, suffering ends up becoming normalized." Subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Comment if you wish. Tell me if you want to be a Pharaoh in your community. Share this video to raise awareness. Study with ECEL Pharaoh. Learn science with awareness, because in health, knowledge is not neutral, it's vital.